What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Friday night live stream. Today has been a pretty interesting day in the shop. Originally I was going to take the day off today, but decided to come in and get some stuff done. Today I have put together one of these big, massive R34 catch cans. This is, we made a custom one of these a few months back, and there was actually a lot of interest in the Instagram posts on this, but everybody that I've spoken to, they haven't committed to purchasing one. I've had a couple of people say that if I had one in stock, they'd buy it. When I made that catch can, I cut two of them, and this one's just been sitting in pieces ever since then. So tonight we're going to slam this guy together, and you know, we'll get it in the cycle of products, and see if there's a market for big, massive R34 Skyline GTT catch cans. I have done a couple of welds on this catch can already, so across the bottom here, Chris is here. G'day, Chris. Thank you so much for joining me on a Friday afternoon. Really appreciate it. Hope you had an awesome week. I'm in a really good mood today, so hoping that reflects in my welding. So across here, this panel join, this curve join. This camera is going to play focus. So this curve panel was about 3 millimeters short across here, so I just welded this super cold with a 2.4 mil filler. I just wanted to get a weld on there, and we'll definitely go over it once there's a bit of heat in the part. And then this weld on the side here, actually just filmed a TikTok and needed a seam that was a before and after, so I just quickly welded that earlier today just to put up a bit of content over on TikTok. So yeah, so I've put this guy together today, and we are going to weld him here tonight. I'm also, can I zoom out enough to show you? Right here, this thing right here, I'm just going to have a go at, or maybe not. I didn't actually pre-charge any batteries, so what I'm actually going to do is swap the battery out. This is just my, it says the battery's good. It's recording, but it's not recording at the right. This was just like a last minute thought. I thought I might just jump in here and record a time lapse. And it's not, so every time I use this thing, I use it so infrequently. This is just a, where are you guys over here? This is just a DJI Osmo Action, bloody good little action camera, but yeah, I use it so rarely that I freaking never know where all the buttons are. It's part touchscreen, part push button. I get these moments in life that, here we go, no. You know, those moments in life that just make you feel like you've forgotten how technology works. I mean, that's probably fine. It's recording at 1080. I was going to try and record in 4K to be able to edit it a bit easier, because I don't know how in focus it's going to be or in frame it's going to be, so I'm going to record vertically. Anyway, who gives a shit? Let's weld. Start recording. No, the voice activation doesn't want to work. All right, that's on. That's recording. It's taking up more space than I wanted it to, but whatevs, whatevs. All right, this guy here, let's see this. This guy here is going to prove to be a little challenging. So we've got, firstly, we've got this really long seam across here. And I've tried to put a few tacks in it, but I'm actually a little concerned about distortion. This panel here doesn't have a fold in it. So up here, obviously, there's a fold there. This panel here does not have a fold, so it's going to be prone to warp. And then we've got this really sharp point here, which we're going to have to fusion weld up, seal up, and use it as a create a bit of a heat sink in it. We've obviously got to re-weld over this seam at the bottom here, and other than that, I think everything else should go pretty smoothly. So first things first, let's get a bit of heat in the part. So I'm going to weld the what is the backside in air quotes, just to pop a bit of heat into this guy. I'm going to have to bowl the tungsten, so I've been using a sharp tungsten today to tack things up. So let's jump into the welder settings here. Go down to profile number 10, which is my bowling profile, and all that is my regular profile with the AC balance turned all the way up. Okay, and then we're going to go up to profile number 1, which is my regular welding profile. I was thinking the other day, and I would love to chat to Kempy about this, but Chris, if you're here, I'm curious if the Fronius machine will allow you to actually name the profiles. If Fronius has that feature, I think that would be a big positive for the machine. But I'd love to be able to name these profiles, especially since you can store 99 or something in here. It's a lot of profiles to have to remember. Fortunately, I verbalize them almost every night, so I've got a pretty good idea of what's what. In the past, I have had a little like A4 whiteboard and had my profiles written down that way on my old machine. Yeah, definitely curious if that's a feature that Fronius offer. And Kempy, I don't think anybody from Kempy, Kempy Australia in particular, always like that I'm streaming, but I don't think they actually attend. And if you are here, Kempy, I would love to know if there's a firmware update that will allow me to put text into my profile pages. But I will, yeah, when you get the machine, Chris, that's a question I definitely would like to know. I'm sure Google would know the answer. G'day Daniel, welcome to, for us it's a Friday night, Friday evening stream. Hope you've got your gas and been able to do a ton of welding today. So we are running a gas lens with a number 5 cup. This is a 2.4mm serrated tungsten, and we just bowled it. I'm using a 1.6mm 5356 filler, and let's get back to that profile there. I actually think the microphone cuts out between screens. I'll pay attention to that. No, it doesn't. Cool, that's good to know. So profile number 1 after the rant is, I've got it set to auto pre-flow and post-flow, which is 0.1 second pre-flow, and currently it's 4.4 second post-flow. That'll vary depending on how long and how hot the machine runs. No pulse. We've got square wave, 130 Hertz, and -33 on the AC balance. We are running 120 amps max with a foot pedal and 15 amps min, again with a foot pedal. And what else do you guys need to know about? Everything is pretty standard here. I've turned off upslope. I've turned startup level down to 5%. The machine recommends 10. That was just in an attempt to stop the EMF interfering with the stream so much. Don't know if it actually has done anything. And the only other thing that this machine really has is the current freezing settings. I don't know if TIG antifreeze or current freeze. I can never remember which one's which, but one will stop the machine from producing power if the tungsten gets dipped. And for me, why do we have a betting thing on? Did I forget to turn that off? Betting thing, I'll just let that run. I don't know what I need to do with it in the background, but anyway, yeah, dip the tungsten, the machine turns off and doesn't cause a big old mess like it would without that feature. Daniel, you've changed your icon. I can barely recognize you now. Man, it's life. I bet you where you are, you're in Florida, I'm pretty sure, is a humid old place. But having AC is more important than welding, and the welding's not going anywhere. Yeah, your machine has it as well. Yeah, that's good to know. It pauses the power. Yeah, so that's exactly what this one's doing. My previous machine didn't have that, and it's an awesome feature, absolutely. But let's start welding. Alright, we're off to a great start by the looks of things there. I really love these sort of nice soft curves. It's a really nice wrist movement. I do like that. I do want to just pop a bit more heat in here. I'll come down this face here. Is this bit of filler going to be long enough? Probably. Alright, felt like I was pretty hot on the pedal then. A little bit of, I guess, turbulence in the world, bit of undulation there. I do have my leg propped up, which I did say the other night that I need to stop doing. But a nice world all in all. Different waveforms for positive and negative of pulse. Is that on AC? Obviously it would be on AC. Very interested to hear about your experience with the Fronius machine. If settings make a big difference, yeah, very interested to see how you go with it. Yes, on AC, awesome. Different waveforms on positive and negative of pulse. I'm so interested to know what that would actually do to the world. You know that I would just end up on square wave no matter what anyway, but yeah, super interested. I really should do some more research on Fronius machines. Sort of like, since I'm not in a position to buy one, it's just, if I got to a point where I wanted one, doing some research on it would probably be a bad thing. Fronius all and HTP. HTP has it as well. Yeah, okay. HTP machines used to be quite popular here, but I don't know why. Daniel, I don't know what you've been flagged for just then. I think I can see it. Arse. I still haven't removed arse as a negative term. I apologize. I can see the message that you've posted, but I don't think anybody else does. And if you get in trouble, I apologize, but it's just a robot yelling at you. It's not anything real. Yeah, so triangle wave is what you've posted, that you can set negative on triangle and you can set your positive side on sine wave, for example. Triangle wave isn't something that I've spent a lot of time with. I've had very limited time with a Miller, whatever, a 200DX Dynasty, I guess they are. I'm not sure what they are. Yeah, but doesn't Everlast have that feature as well? But they just call it puddle freeze. I'm super curious on this. But the dabs freeze almost instantly. Soft square, yeah. See, so when, I guess on this machine, that is, flick over to it, but that is what, like, soft square is supposed to be Optima here, but Optima just wells like shit for me. I have a really hard time getting a stable arc with Optima, unless I go right down on the frequency. So if I run like 90 Hertz with Optima, I'll get decent-ish results, but yeah, I wonder if like that ultimate control, if it actually would make a real world difference. Very curious to know your feedback or experience, I guess is probably the right word. I'm going to weld in this filter basket on the top now, and for that we're going to switch over to the pulse setting. We're still on auto on the post-flow pre-flow. We're 45% on time with a 0.833 second pulse. Everything else is the same, but the only difference is we're dropping down to a max of 110 amps. Did you get the Fronius machine through Atkins here, or did you end up going through State of the Art for that? Just while I'm thinking about it. Okay, good results there. This is a nice one because there's no seams or weld seams close to the filter basket, so there's just plenty of meat in the part to dissipate the heat there. This filter basket, I'm a big fan of this filter basket. So my normal filter basket design is this, which just has my logo and then these cutouts on the side to make up the volume. But in this guy here, it's too reflective. I put the logo at each end. Granted, I use a 1/8 inch cutting tool, so it's not quite big enough to get around the P there, which I just need to enlarge it a little bit. But I said at the top of the video that this is only the second one I've made, and I did cut them both on the same day. But the reason I like this, and I'm thinking about switching to it, there's a huge size difference in them. But often, not super often, but occasionally I put this in upside down. So for example, this is the front of the can. So this is the front of the vehicle. So I would normally have the logo go this way. But when I'm assembling it, if I happen to put it in this way, it annoys me later, even though this gets covered with foam and a filter plate and all that jazz. But this design, it doesn't matter what way I put it in, it's correct. So I'm thinking about that for this design. I haven't popped it into the computer to figure it out yet, but it's something I'm thinking about. And just welding that in there, it made me spend a bit of time with it, and I really like it as an option. So this part is pretty warm right now. I'm going to jump to the side, I guess, or the part that I'm probably the most concerned about at this point. How do I show you? Turn it around like this. So right here we have this really pointy part, which is a seam across the top here, if we get in focus. So seam across here, and it's really likely to disappear on me. So I'm going to get in there and fusion weld it right back to this tack back here, and fusion weld across here a little way. We have baffling on this side, and this baffle here, so this section here has a independent baffle from this section here. The two ports will be -12s from the rocker cover, and this is the -12 from the sump, just a provision. And the baffling on the inside is different. So from the rocker cover, we can have a different baffling style, which I use a labyrinth baffle than the sump, and on the sump, I just have a baffle chamber instead of a labyrinth, because the sump really can't afford to have any flow restrictions. So the sump gets independently baffled in my products compared to the rocker cover. So that's why they're marked there. So this is going to get powder coated, this particular tank. Because it's been sitting around so long, it has a few scratches on it. So these engraves will get covered up by powder, but this product will fit into my laser, so I will be able to laser engrave rocker cover and sump into the powder coat after the fact. Originally, when I did this, it was going to be brush finish. But yeah, it's just been kicking around the shop too long, and I didn't re-wrap it. All right, so what I want to do is get in here and change back to my straight current setting. So setting number 1 here, back into straight current. Just make sure that those muck around settings didn't save there. All right, so fusion weld there. I'm just curious to have a little look at what amperage that was at. So an average of 52 amps there. So 39 amps. I don't know if I stop start, so 39 amps might have been that that little dab that I put at the end. That was quite a tricky one to not let anything disappear on me. 50 amps sounds about right. So we just need to get a little bit of a fusion weld across this section here, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so the weld that I'm worried about doing the most is this big straight one across here, this big seam. So it makes sense to do it right now. doesn't it? So we'll need to just get a tack at the end there, and then really got to make sure this prop's in a good spot. And we'll be able to run the whole way. Yes. Really important on a weld like this to get the prop parallel, because it's super easy to wander around on a weld like this. So, and got a brand new filler, so I should be able to make it the whole length in one pass. We're in the right setting, everything's good, wish me luck. All right, that was not fun at all for me. It looks like here, which I thought I was having a distortion problem, and I absolutely did. This here, I've got 3.5 inches left over from a 1 meter filler rod. And that was just in that one weld. I am super curious to know how long I was welding for just then. And that was certainly not 9 seconds. What am I missing there? That can't be my weld history. That doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. It was not 9 seconds. Does it not register long welds? What the fuck's going on there? Oh, I guess we'll find out in the video. 9 seconds. Unless it thinks it's still welding. Super long weld. What happened here? So right here, let me zoom in. David Scott, g'day mate. It's been a super long time. Hope you're keeping well. So right here you can see this little nodule sticking out there. I need to come here to show you, but it was. Oh, you can't see it anymore because the chat box is in the way. No, the TV's in the way. There it is. The post. The end of my filler rod kept hitting the post there, and I couldn't move it out the way. So right here, let's critique this thing. So right here is where the baffle starts for this thing here. So massive heat soak right there, which you can definitely see in the weld. And then the end of it is right there, and there's like a vertical piece that's pushed hard up against this panel, and I could feel it wicking the heat away. And I tried to hang out there for a minute, but yeah, it was actually distorting the material. But I think all in all, last time I welded, so like I said, this is the second one of these I've ever made. Last time I did one of these, I had a very similar result on that straight weld as well. Evidently, that is a type of weld that I need more practice on. That's for sure. But I'm not mad about that by any means. I just I wish it was better. But a bit of practice, bit of time, long, straight, flat. I mean, this is relatively flat weld. Is not something that I do very often. I wonder, actually, in hindsight, I wonder if I should have broken that up into 3 parts and just committed to having a stop-start. It would probably be nicer than having the distortion in the material. On the next one, if I ever build another one of these, we'll give that a try. The other thing that I could do, which might be worthwhile, is to make this top plate out of 2.5mm instead of 2mm to try and combat that distortion as well. But that distortion is purely from the internal baffling. Sucks, but you know, that's what we're dealing with. Doing well, glad to hear, man. I'm glad to hear. Same. Like everything's going bloody awesome in life. This end. You know, the clock keeps ticking, and that's just the way it is now. Everything's still working. Yes, my my Stream Deck decided it doesn't want to exist anymore. Let's just see if we can unplug it and plug it back in. No. Well, I hope it didn't actually die. Here